How's it going, everybody? Welcome to a brand new episode of Crypto Clout. I am your host, FaZe Crypto, and in this video, I would like to explore some different sort of controversial issues in the cryptocurrency space. I guess if you're bullish on Bitcoin, maybe some of these articles, in particular this Forbes article, which I'd like to get some of your opinions on. Legendary investor Jim Rogers warns that different governments will have to eliminate Bitcoin. Bitcoin has made its fair share of enemies since it was created a little over 10 years ago. Bitcoin soaring to $20,000 per Bitcoin in late 2017 thrust cryptocurrencies into the global limelight, promoting, of course, various different clampdowns on their use in companies such as, Facebook to create their own. Now, Jim Rogers warns Bitcoin and similar virtual cryptocurrencies beyond the influence of different bodies will not be allowed to survive, and said the Bitcoin price is headed to zero. I want to debunk that right away. The Bitcoin will never be zero. When people say Bitcoin is going to be zero, they're being very dramatic. Even if all these different clampdowns and all these different things were to take place, Bitcoin wouldn't be zero ever. It just won't ever be zero. So whenever somebody says zero, I understand the nuance that they're playing for there, but just mathematically, Bitcoin cannot be worth zero. But it is also kind of telling to see that this article that they want, to see, the sort of global health issue has revealed, quote, holes within the traditional financial systems, and demands for Bitcoin is suddenly surging. So it's interesting that they're playing these two ideas side to side with anybody who clicks on. I'm not a fan of Forbes, and I understand what they're doing here. So it says, quote, if the cryptocurrency succeeds as real money rather than the subject of quote gambling as it is today, the government will make it illegal and eliminate it. Rogers. This is still a very pervasive, and relatively all-encompassing argument that is worthy of us. It is a possible way, a possible thing that we would have to look down, but I don't think that we have to worry about a full-on elimination of BTC, but I think definitely a lot of various rulings have yet to be made about the status and how society at large is going to perceive digital currencies. But I think that if Bitcoin were to be eliminated, I think that would, DigiByte would act as a vacuum, and sort of the next best things would rise up. But that's just my opinion. In this video, I really want to talk about the potential for DigiByte to get over that threshold of being worth cents and cross over the decimal point and be worth dollars. And it would be interesting to see. And of course, we kind of can tell this narrative that's being strung out right here. Bitcoin dropping to 6K, golden packet isn't bearish, says trader. A quote right here. In fact, it would even be a healthy correction right into the golden pocket of the 0.618 fib level. Of course, talking about Bitcoin follows the stock's downfall. But it is always interesting, to see the different contradictions. I like this, right here. This is an interesting tweet that I saw. Always when Bitcoin signal flashed, when this signal flashed, started a massive bull run. So all these things are yet to be seen. I don't imagine that at the current state, Bitcoin and cryptocurrency, I don't think that the market cap is where it needs to be, of course, for a lot of these different variables to sort of flesh themselves out. But I suppose we'll see what happens in the near future. But I would make the argument for blockchain technology yet again. Now, I would make the argument for DigiByte being a superior blockchain, not only in speed, but a multitude of other variables that really do lend to the argument that can be made about DigiByte, and especially the future of DigiByte. When we want to talk about the value and all the different things that DigiByte's achieved for itself, it is no small feat. And I think that as we see, I think that the party's still getting going. DigiByte on Binance, all these other things, it is interesting to see just all the innovation. DigiByte accepted here. Adoption is more valuable than being listed in exchanges. I think that that's worthy of a retweet as well. And I'd also, definitely, you guys need to advocate for the cryptocurrency. Support the content creators who talk about I like this one. What if I told you that DigiByte is headed to $1 by the end of the year? And I wouldn't imagine that it would happen that quickly. I like this one right here. Target price 0.03992 is short term. So of course Perry, the Singapore-based mid-market investment bank, has placed the buy rating on DGB with a price target of US, and of course that. Then the time frame for achieving this possible target is 12 months. Of course, I would say that long term, I think that the potential, especially where we've been seeing fiat going, fiat going down and cryptocurrency doing its thing and being sort of that hedge against inflation sort of proof of concept in the making. So of course, DGB is an advanced form of blockchain which is fast and more secure than Ethereum and Bitcoin blockchain. In the nutshell, DigiByte is an open source blockchain project with a total supply of 21 billion coins. Now keep that in mind. The 21 billion coins, I think, is going to be a reoccurring thing that we need to continue to talk about. The blockchain is expected to reach its maximum supply by 2035. DGB enjoys a vibrant and most cheerful group, community members and developers on social media like Twitter. Tokenization over DGB from the last few weeks. DigiByte community is discussing tokenization of real-world assets and financial products like IPOs, bond offerings, and payments on several social media platforms. Recently, EGW Capital, the blockchain investment bank with a focus on emerging market like India, has even announced several large projects which will be executed on the DigiByte blockchain. So and of course, talking about exponential growth in this context, if DGB achieves the target of being adopted on one of the leading methods of payment, it may witness exponential growth. Even definitely interesting when you talk about tokenization in that context. And I think it will be very interesting just to see how a lot of these different companies will start to realize and wake up to the fact that they could save a lot of money by you building upon blockchains that are already existing. And I don't think that it's something that they're really concerned about right now, but they should be. And I think that it is interesting that we have such a great, strong community here. And I'm happy to be part of the DigiByte community. I'm just thankful to be able to have this platform and be able to talk about all these different sides of the potential. And of course, explore what we can expect to see happening, in the long term, and of course while we've been watching. But I think it's plain to see what Forbes wants you to think, or whatever the lamestream sort of has been one to sort of put out these sort of ideas and so forth, but really we don't know what's going to happen in the short term. But I always, the big red flag always goes up whenever I see an article where somebody's talking about Bitcoin going to zero, because it won't go to zero. It's just not mathematically it's just not a mathematically sound argument. So big red flag always goes up whenever I hear that. But it's still, I'm very interested in seeing where the DigiByte blockchain and a lot of the other variables, revolving around it will be, basically the expansions upon what we already witness and what we already call, the foundational principles. If we have to look at first principles on these things, but I think that when we talk about DigiID, DigiAssets, blockchain, DigiByte's well proven itself at this point. So I think it will be exciting to see what happens, in the near future, regardless of what the future might hold. But yeah, all that being said, I hope you guys have already, I hope you guys have enjoyed this video. I thank everybody for subscribing, helping that number go up. I am thankful to have such a great community and so many supporters, and everybody who comments down below and shares their opinion. And I do encourage you all to share your opinion. But remember, I'm not your financial advisor. I'm not your dad. This video is for entertainment, educational purposes only. I encourage you guys to go do your own research on these things. There's a high risk, high volatility space, and we don't know what's going to happen. People might become millionaires and they might go broke. We don't know. So we'll see. We can only wait and watch. And I think it is probably one of the most interesting things unfolding right now much more interesting than many of the other things that are discussed in the news on the regular basis, stuff that's sort of just trying to get you to run around in circles. But yeah, all that being said, I hope you guys have enjoyed this video. I'll see you guys in the next one. Have a good one.